Sunny days, keeping the clouds away.
Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 122, and we are celebrating Hallow Geek. Right, Chris?
Hello.
Hello.
Woo,
I'm here.
hello.
I'm Ryan. I'm here with my brother Chris and our good pal Katrin. And we're back
Hello.
during this spooky month. And the Grouch, I guess. If you don't know what that's from, there's an SNL sketch this past Saturday. Well, whenever it was. Yeah.
On a Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, on Saturday, and they did a Grouch sketch based on the Joker movie, and it's pretty funny. So go check it out. It's
So good.
David Harbour playing the Grouch, and Sesame Street has gone awry, I guess you would say.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in a long time, and I saw that on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, this is actually funny.
Yeah. That's the same, I had the same thought.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. Anyways,
It's probably the only thing that was funny in the episode, though, I'm sure, too.
oh, probably.
Unfortunately. I don't know. Who knows? It could
But
be, but
you even liked it, and you haven't seen Joker.
I haven't seen Joker, but I've seen the trailer, and I know enough about Joker
Yeah,
to kind of get it, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Chris-
know who the Grouch is.
yeah, he's from Sesame Street.
Yes.
Oh, that growl.
Yes, that one.
Oh,
Lives in a
okay.
trash can.
That makes a lot more sense now. All right.
Were you thinking it was the Grinch? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not very good at spelling, so.
No,
I mean, they're
no,
both
you're
green.
not.
He paints himself green.
Oh, Chris and I saw the Joker.
Oh.
Mhm.
I guess, do you want to give a little review before we dive into
Yeah,
our
interesting.
Hallow Geek, however you say it, stuff?
Hello, geek.
Hello, Geek.
Hello.
Hello, Geek.
Oh, no, that would be how you were spelling it. Hello, geek.
No.
Hello. Hello, how we doing
We had
there?
this. Okay, so
Hey,
here's,
right.
I will just get this out in the open. We had a little. So the past 2 years, I did a little rough logo for our Hallow Geek, and I spelled it HALLOGEEK. I just took the ween off of Halloween and put in geek, to make one little nice little word. Well, Chris made some logos for us this year, and
And they're awesome.
they're awesome. They're really cool. But he spelled it HALLOW and then geek underneath it. And I was like, oh, that's not how we spell it. And then so there's a big debate. So let us know what you think it should be. Should it be with an O, just an O, or should there be a W in there too?
I mean, to me, I went off the All Hallows Eve. The word hallow being like saint.
Well, this is a geek podcast, not a nerd podcast. So
Yeah. Get them mixed up.
we're not
Hallow.
smart. I never claimed to be smart.
We're just passionate.
Yes, we're just passionate.
And I'm passionate for that W.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Anyway,
But anyway, Joker.
Joker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
we want to give like
spoiler-free
spoilers
kind
or
of thing.
spoiler free?
Well, I'd say spoiler free for me. I mean, kind of short and sweet. Like they basically, I think it was a good movie. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a really good job, but I didn't necessarily feel like it had to be a Joker movie. I think they could have made a good movie, leaving all the Joker and stuff out, and it would have just been a good movie.
Yeah.
Like it felt like they wrote a script, like, oh, this is a really good script. Yeah, we're gonna make this movie, but if we add Joker in there, we can make a lot more money. So they put Joker in there, and
Yeah.
a lot of the Wayne stuff, like the family with the Waynes, that they put in there without spoiling anything, it just felt kind of shoehorned in. Didn't really need it.
To make it a Joker movie, basically.
Yeah, to make it a
try
Joker
to make
movie.
a connection.
Yeah, they didn't really need to, and plus, if you think about it, like, because you've seen Bruce Wayne in the previews and stuff, and he's a little kid, so basically when Joker fights Batman, he's going to be like 70 or 80.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Wait a second.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Joker's gonna be like, in a retirement home finding Batman, the Walker.
Yep. His actual teeth will be coming out and chattering.
Yeah. So I like the movie. I sort of want to give spoilers, but I guess I shouldn't because some people haven't seen it. I like the movie, but like you, it was sort of like it didn't have to be a Joker movie, and I think I would have liked it better as a Joker movie if they had changed the ending.
Yeah.
If the ending was different, which I don't know how to explain it without giving spoilers. If the ending was different, it would have made a ton more sense, and it would have kept that mystery of the Joker alive. Like, who's the Joker? What is his background? Because that's the thing with the Joker. No one knows his true background.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even in the Killing Joke, where they tell this basically story, which a lot of this was based on, right?
Yeah,
Even in that story, he tells like his background, and then at the end, basically he's like, "No," or "That's a joke," or something. I forget what he says at the end, but he says something.
Yeah, a lot of his stories, like anytime there's a story of his origin, it leaves you guessing, was that real or whatever. It's like what they did in The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
Like each person he meets, he tells like a different origin story of himself, basically, which is fun, and I like that.
Yeah, because of this version of it, basically everybody by the end of the movie, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not a big. Everybody at the end of the movie knows who the Joker is. Like, knows his name. Knows exactly who he is. So Batman could just be like, "Oh, let's go see the Arthur Fink. Oh, here he is. Okay, or whatever his name is. What's his name?
Yeah, Arthur Fleck.
Fleck. He goes, "Oh, here's Arthur Fleck in the phone book. Let me go to his house and take care of this." Because I didn't. It was a good movie though.
And really, what's really interesting, Arthur Fleck. I mean, he doesn't become the Joker; he actually becomes Batman. Because
no,
his name is Arthur Fleck. It's A. Fleck, Affleck.
All right. And this is also one of those movies where the director, gosh, it's Hallow Geek. No.
You're welcome.
Anyways, this is one of those movies where the director keeps coming out and saying, "Well, you actually don't know what's going on, and maybe I'll reveal one day what actually happens in the movie." And it's like, why? No. Like, I don't like when they do that. I don't like when the director's like, "Well, actually, you don't know the full story. You don't know what's going on, and maybe I'll reveal it in an interview someday." It's like, no, make the movie. Just because there's I could be wrong, but to me, there's no reason to make a Joker 2, right?
I don't see a reason to do a second one with Joaquin Phoenix. This seems like a one-off story to me. I don't think they need to do a sequel, but it's making a ton of money, so.
And that's why the ending should have been different.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just give my ending? Can I just tell my ending?
Okay, we'll say spoiler.
Spoiler. Okay, 5, 4, 3,
fast forward a little
2, 1. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, if you're listening right now, you've seen Joker, or you don't care. Yeah. Joker or Arthur Fleck or what? How is
Joker? Just say Joker.
Joker. Arthur should have died at the end. He should have either died on the TV show, or I think I would rather have him die on the police car hood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all his little followers, if you want to call them that, drag him out, lay him down on the hood of the police car, and then he is just laying there. I think he should have died there. And then with all these people with these clown masks on, one kid, doesn't have to be exactly Bruce Wayne's age, but it could be like a teenager, because that would make sense. Slowly takes his mask off and is looking at the body of this quote Joker, and gives an evil grin and just goes back into the darkness, and that's that's how it ends. You know? Because then it's like it keeps the mystery of who the Joker is alive. You don't know who the Joker is. It could be this kid. This Joker is apparently dead, so we know it's not him. It's sort of the start of this um, legend of the Joker. You know, that makes
Mhm.
more sense to me. But they didn't do that. He basically gets put back in a mental hospital, so we think.
Mhm.
And some of the rumor is that he was there the whole time, and the whole movie happened in his head.
Yeah. Uh, my thing was with spoiler material inserted here. Like, I think if they wanted to keep the Wayne connection in there, I think they should have done this years later, after the parents had been killed, and Bruce was away,
Yeah,
and he dealt more with Alfred
yeah, that makes more
than
sense.
anyone else.
Yeah,
Um, and so, yeah, at the end, then you could have like a newspaper or something, like bat scene and
yeah.
bat scene, and
Or they
like
could
just
have
like a
done it.
spoiler thing in the background.
They could have done it when. I don't know. That wouldn't make sense. I was gonna say when Robin was a kid there or something. And that's the kid he comes in contact with,
Mm.
but that wouldn't make sense either. So, yeah. So, and supposedly the last laugh of the movie is the only true laugh that the Joker does the whole time. The basically the person interviewing him in the mental hospital, he's laughing and she says, "What are you laughing at?" And he goes, "You wouldn't understand," or something like that.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. And basically, that's saying that that was his real life, and that all this just happened in his head, and that's what he's laughing about. I don't know. It was a good movie though.
Mhm.
Overall, it was a beautifully done movie. It dealt
Mhm.
with a lot of like mental health issues, um, and it was one of those movies where you know you're sort of on the edge the whole time, the entire
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah, and I didn't necessarily like that you felt bad for the Joker. Like, it kind of makes you feel bad for him,
Yeah,
Right.
because you know what later on he goes to do, like multiple
yeah.
things, and he's a homicidal maniac. But then you're like, oh, I kind of feel bad for
And
him.
that's why killing this guy at the end would make sense, because then you have this homicidal maniac child, you know, staring at him, laughing and walking away. It keeps that mystery alive. To me, it feels like they killed the mystery of the Joker
Hmm.
by doing it this way.
If, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that was the killing joke of the movie. Killed the mystery of the Joker. All right, spoilers over.
So you can listen now.
You can listen now.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
How do you know when to start listening again? That's
Yeah,
hard.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
they just have to keep fast forwarding and go until they
Could
hear us not.
you
Yeah.
insert a time code? Say, listen back at
Yeah, I could do
time
that.
code
Yeah, I'll do that.
207.
If I remember when I'm editing,
No,
I could do that.
It'll be fine.
So I recommend seeing the Joker once if you're a Joker fan,
Yeah,
but it's a one and done for me.
I'd say so too. Like, I don't think you necessarily need to see it in theaters,
Yeah.
because it's not like there's a lot of like big extravagant action to it, or like huge like locales that would look really nice on a big screen. It only takes place in like a few different locations.
Yeah, and
So
it looks more like, which I know Gotham is supposed to be like New York, but it didn't feel like Gotham to me. It felt like New York City.
it didn't for me either. It felt like New York or Chicago or some
Yeah,
other place. Didn't really feel like Gotham.
yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I saw some article about some AMC theater that wouldn't let people go to see this movie alone.
No, that was
What was that? I saw it, but I didn't get to
that
read.
was so some guy was playing a prank with some of his friends or whatever, and made a flyer and put it out in front of his AMC and like took a picture of it, but then left the flyer up there. And so people were like freaking out and causing all these
Okay.
problems. and so AMC actually banned the guy from life for
Good.
life, and
Good.
he can't go to AMC anymore.
Good. Yeah, it was one of those articles like on Facebook that won't load that like keeps popping ads up. So I'm like, what is this? You can't go to it by
Oh,
yourself?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's Facebook. Everything's true on there.
That's right. It's on the internet.
It's on the
Speak
internet.
truth.
So let's get to what we are here for tonight, I guess. And I don't think we've done this before, but if we have, well, this is going to be a revised list.
Yeah.
But so
Redo.
yeah, so like we did with our 5 movies on an island, deserted island. Tonight we're going to do our top 5 Halloween or movies we like to watch at Halloween. Not necessarily movies about Halloween, but movies we like to watch at Halloween, and our top 5 or so TV episodes like that we have found funny or interesting or deal with Halloween over the years. And we asked,
Let's talk about Halloween.
yeah, let's talk about how. So we asked people on our Facebook group, and they posted theirs too. So we'll get to theirs a little bit later. So you gotta stay tuned, or go to Facebook and you can see what they said. So the big question is, who wants to go first?
I'm looking at my list. I'll go first.
Sweet.
Okay.
I want to steal some of yours. So.
Okay. You're gonna steal some of mine?
Yeah.
I gotta change some stuff.
Probably not. I'm just kidding. I do remember that we did this list before, but I'm trying to pick a couple different ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine are all different. Now, I don't think you'll steal any of mine because I do not have Halloween Town 1 through 5 down.
I just have the first one.
And none of my TV shows are The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. So.
Hey, I didn't have that on mine. So that's
on
Ryan.
Ryan.
That's on mine. I think the TV episodes are going to be more interesting because most people have the same Halloween movies, but the TV episodes you'll be like, oh yeah, that show, I remember that. Yeah. Anyway, so okay, we'll get through the movies.
All right. So I'll go ahead and get the first one out of the way since we already know it's Halloween Town. That's one we always watch. Usually we watch it as we're putting up our decorations. We didn't do that this year, but whatever. We'll watch it at some point, I'm sure.
So the first one
kind of started with ABC Family. They would always show their movies, and that's where I'm pretty sure I saw it the first time. We ended up buying it because Halloween Town 1 and 2, and in a DVD set, and so now we can watch it whenever we please. What were we gonna say?
Every day.
Will they be on Disney Plus? I don't know.
I bet. Yeah.
I think it was one of them out of the 3,000 movies listed. That's I think one of them, along with like Biscuit Eater, whatever that was.
I don't know. There's some weird ones on there, and then there's some that are missing that you're like, why is that not on here? So the first one is your favorite one for the Halloween Town series?
It's the first one that came to mind.
No. I mean, like, of the Halloween Town series, the first one is.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the one I've seen the most. I don't know that I've seen past 2, honestly.
Have you seen Calabar's Revenge?
That's the second one, right?
I don't know.
I think it is.
How about Halloween Town High? Isn't there one called that?
There may be. I'm not sure. I'm not that big of a.
Did you know? Here's a random fact. I have random facts. The girl that played the original lead actress. I don't know her name.
I don't know.
And the boy from the second one that they have like some kind of relationship, I guess. In the second one, right?
Sure. Yeah. I know what you're talking
He's like the son of the bad guy or something.
Yeah, he's like a prince or something. I don't know what he is.
They're like married or something in real life.
Oh, good. Yeah, for them.
Something like that. They're either married or in a relationship still.
Oh,
well, good for them.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Random fact of the day.
Let's move on. So, the next one on my list, I just got in the mail the other day because I've been wanting to get it for my son to watch because he's really gotten into watching Ernest movies. But it's Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, probably my favorite Ernest movie.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I'm excited to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time, but
Good old wholesome Miak. Love some Miak. You don't get the reference.
It's
no,
been a
Okay,
long
you need
time
to watch
since
the
I've seen
movie
it.
again.
I know. I got to watch it again. I
Yeah,
haven't
watch
watched
the
it in a long
movie. You'll know what I'm talking about when they get to the
I'm
Miak.
sure I will. Yeah. There's a line in that we watched the trailer for it the other night, and it says, "These aren't Keebler elves," or something like that. Ernest. Okay. Um, the next one I have on my list goes to a different side. Is Creep Show.
Oh.
Oh,
It's actually one I mentioned. I think the last time we did this, but I I, I don't watch a lot of scary movies or things like that. But I remember watching that a lot for some reason when I was younger, and it freaked me out. Especially one of the little episodes, because it's a bunch of little movies, little short movies. That there was one or two of them that really got me. One was the Father's Day cake or whatever. Where's my Father's Day cake? And it's like this. They're celebrating this Father's Day. This father, and he he's dead, but they're remembering all this stuff.
He's dead.
he's dead.
And what happened is somebody killed him, hit him with an ashtray or something. But he shows back up, and everybody freaks out. And that one was freaky. And then there was this one where this guy lived in a house that was completely white and clean and sterile or whatever, and it had all these cockroaches started coming out of everything. And I still can't stand to see cockroaches and bugs like that crawling around, and it just creeps me out. But
well,
so yeah.
Since you mentioned Creepshow,
Yeah.
one of the things that haunts me till this day for some odd reason, I think Creepshow was I think it may have been the second one. I think it was the second one.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the second one, but
It was, I think it was one of the first like horror movies I saw.
yeah.
And it was at a friend's house, like spending the night. And I'm like, okay, we'll watch this. I've never seen a horror movie before. And it was about this like it's like these two old couple that have this little store, and they have this wooden Indian that stands out front, and then these people come in and rob the store and like kill the old couple, and then the wooden Indian comes alive and like kills all the
I vaguely remember that.
freaks me out as a kid. I'd have nightmares about that.
I think I remember you watching that.
Oh.
I don't think I ever watched any of the Creep Show.
Well, I never watched any more of the Creep Shows. I'll tell you that.
Aren't they making a new one? I think they're bringing it back.
I think so.
Yeah, so I probably won't see it because it creeps me out. Okay, so moving on. I've got a few of these that I wrote down. I'm just not sure, but I'm going to say Beetlejuice. So I know you mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, that is a good one.
I'm going to take that.
Sorry, but I mean, we can both like Beetlejuice. It's okay. But
fine.
man, I mean that
makes the episode shorter.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I'll let you talk about it.
No. Let's both talk about it.
Good.
What's your favorite?
I haven't
What's your favorite
seen it in a
scene?
while, but my favorite scene? I don't know if I have a favorite scene.
Well, then it's not one of your favorites.
Kind of like the whole thing. No,
kind of like when it starts and then the middle and then the end.
That's like on Office Space where he says, "What's your favorite Michael Bolton album?"
Yeah.
It's like I guess I kind of like them all. He's like, "Me too. I'm a Michael Bolton fan. I celebrate the guy's entire collection." I don't know.
I probably like the dinner scene the best.
Yeah,
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe like isn't there like a waiting room scene?
Yeah,
or something like that?
I think that's my favorite, where he
Comes
gets
to
his head shrunken or his head shrunk. That part's hilarious because it's got the guy and he's got like number 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Beetlejuice's is like in the thousands,
right,
for his turn, and he switches them. Oh, I love that scene.
And then the sand snake is pretty freaky.
Oh
Yeah.
They have a sand snake you could buy and project on your lawn. you seen
Oh,
this?
I know, I've seen that. That's cool. Yeah, it plays like bits of the movie on it.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
very
And
cool.
then there's also just a giant inflatable sand snake you can get too.
yeah.
That's so cool.
There's a new Funko Pop that it's Beetlejuice and the Dante's Inferno Hotel or whatever it is. You know that? It's like that.
Mhm.
And, which, if you like Funko Pops, go check out our Instagram or my Twitter at Finding Rest and like our Funko post because we're trying to win a trip to Hollywood. But anyways,
Oh,
Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Is that Hollywood, Mississippi?
I don't know. They're opening up a new Funko store in Hollywood, and there's a contest.
Fun.
So, but I did the whole Haunted Mansion scene, and I did a paper craft of the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
So check out those pictures; it's pretty cool. Anyways, Beetlejuice, I love
All right.
Beetlejuice. Yes.
I know. Thank you for suggesting it.
No, you're welcome.
We've said his name more than 3 times, so he's going to be bound to show up.
Beetlejuice.
Isn't he one of those ones though that like, if that was true and he did show up, you'd be like,
What's up?
"Cool,
man?
let's hang out."
Yeah. Yeah, he's not
No.
really that evil, right?
I guess it depends. I mean, he
Well.
could in the movie it seemed like
Mischievous,
he could
that's
get
all.
pretty, but the cartoon he was just
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
But of all the all the things that you say 3 times, like Bloody Mary,
But
with Candyman,
yeah,
Mhm.
Beetlejuice. I mean, out of those 3,
Yeah.
I think I'd hang out with Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Uncanny Annie.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
That's one of the Hulu scary movies, Into the Dark series. Yeah, it's called Uncanny Annie. It's actually pretty fun.
So you
it's
say
like
Uncanny Andy 3 times?
into a mirror, yeah, and it's basically you're playing.
Uncanny.
It's like an evil Jumanji.
Oh,
Uncanny Annie's this board game that these like college students start playing, and she shows up and starts killing them off.
nice.
And they're like trapped in the house. The house gets sucked into this dimension, so they can't escape. It's actually pretty fun.
There we go. I'll
So-
stick with Beetlejuice. Calling him.
we we're going to St. Louis this week, my family, and we're looking for an escape room. And there was one called Annabelle
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and it's this doll
Oh, yeah. It's a real thing. That's
that
a
you
real
have
life
to,
The
thing.
movies.
return to this other part of the house or something
Uh-huh.
like that. And if not, she'll find you. And I couldn't get my family to do that one. So.
Oh, no. No. Your son would be terrified.
Oh, I know.
Annabelle's
You're-
actually a real life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Your son, you hold the doll.
that's creepy as creepy. That's creepy
Yeah,
as you
it's like
get.
super creepy. So there was a Groupon for it. So I was like, let's do this
Oh,
one.
there you go. It's
I
cheaper.
know.
You just
That's-
find your
that's-
son in the corner just rocking back and
Yeah,
forth.
that's right.
Yeah, that's how a horror movie would start. Would be a cheap
Yeah.
dad getting a Groupon to
Yeah.
go to a horror escape room, and then everyone dying in it.
People do it all the time. Come on,
No, not with Annabelle.
guys.
But do you know of anyone? No, because none of
Yeah.
them made it out.
Do you know of Annabelle? Do you know the
Have you ever
story?
seen Batman and me in the same room at the same time?
Yes.
Yes.
He's right behind you.
Oh,
He's right over here, actually. Got his mask here.
okay.
Have you seen?
I have one more.
Well, do you know what Annabelle is though?
Doll? I don't know.
Okay, it's just like possessed doll that they keep in this
Yeah.
glass case, and if you
Yeah,
take it out of the
that's it.
case, then
Yeah.
it will do-
Yeah, you got to return it to the case. That's the point of
There's
the
a movie
escape.
series on it.
Yeah. Yeah. That.
Anyways, okay, your last one.
My last one. We watched this movie the other night, and I think we debated whether or not this is a Halloween movie, but I'm gonna say it is Ghostbusters. It was a little more intense for my son than I
Oh, really?
anticipated. But
Ghostbusters is an everyday movie.
well, there
It's
was
a
one
way of
part
life.
where we fast forwarded where I think it's Dan Aykroyd's laying in the bed and the
Oh,
ghost stream, and she's like, "Oh, this is a scary part," and she fast forwards,
yeah.
But,
Just too scary for you, son.
And there was another part. She's like, "Yeah, just hide your eyes. This is a really scary part." Sigourney Weaver and her nightgown. So, a very sheltered son, but
Aw.
it's all good.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
But yeah, I after watching, I was like, yeah, I think this is one that I think of Halloween when I watch it, even though it's not about Halloween. It just
Yeah.
it fits.
That
I
goes-
kind of think of kind of think of Alien in the same way. It's not really a Halloween movie, but it's kind of like a horror movie.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
sense.
It's well, I mean,
So,
it's a yeah.
so you kind of watch it around this time of year for me.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, both of those movies have been at Halloween Horror Nights as houses, so
yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have honorable mentions, but I'll wait till the end.
Oh, okay.
So I don't steal those.
Well, Chris, you want to go?
You go right ahead. So
Lay that Nightmare Before Christmas on us.
You go
out of there.
You go ahead, so I don't steal anything else of yours. You can steal things of mine. It's fine.
I don't. You didn't steal anything. You just misspelled stuff. It's fine.
No,
it's fine.
No, he stole.
Oh yeah, he stole. That's
But
true.
You had one less. I didn't want to knock you down even further, but now maybe I do.
No, I'm just kidding. So
Oh,
my first pick is a little known movie called Beetlejuice.
oh
Wow,
really?
that is such a good choice.
Huh. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have thought of that as a Halloween movie.
yeah,
but,
it's a fun one. It's
Sorry.
no, just kidding. Just kidding. So Beetlejuice, and then Monster Squad would be like.
Monster Squad.
These
that's
are like
good.
in no order, I guess. So there's just 5.
Yeah.
Monster Squad, which basically it took my love for the original monsters, which would be Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, werewolf, creature, and then it put it with like the Goonies, basically.
Yeah.
Because you have this group of kids, and like one of the main kids was named Ryan. So when I was a kid, I was like, his name's Ryan, my name's Ryan. Yes, I'm part of the Monster Squad. Which I haven't watched it in a while, so I need to watch it again. It's probably one of those movies when you watch it again, you're like, oh, okay.
It's pretty hokey.
Yeah, but the best line is when they kick the Wolfman between the legs. And
Wolfman's got nards.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that.
That's right.
Which why wouldn't he? You know,
You know.
have you spayed or neutered your Wolfman
Wolf.
today? So I love Monster Squad. It's just one of those fun monster movies. And then I guess this is towards the top, but I'll just go ahead and say now, the original Halloween, 1978 Halloween. Probably the Halloween movie. Like if you're going to pick a Halloween
named
movie,
Halloween.
it's named Halloween. But I've liked. I've seen like the Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. Halloween 3 takes a different turn. Michael Myers is not in it, but it's still good.
Yeah.
The Season of the Witch deals with masks and all that stuff. Anyways, but the original Halloween movie was just like had that creep factor, but it wasn't too like it wasn't over the top. It was like it kept the shape in the shadows, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you didn't know what was, if he was coming or if he was going. And so I liked it a lot.
And plus, William Shatner's face is super scary.
Yeah.
Which is what the mask was. It was the William Shatner mask, painted white.
Yeah, it was the last second addition to the movie, pretty much. But yeah, just the way it was filmed and the way they went about it. Actually, it's one of my favorite haunted houses they did at Halloween Horror Nights, too. It was like walking through the movie, which I got to see it in the theater, which was amazing. But yeah, so I highly recommend. It's not for kids. Just throw that out there.
Put out there.
There are some scenes that, like Katrin said for Ghostbusters, you have to close your eyes, kids, or fast
Pretty much
forward
right
through.
off the bat at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. But it's the Halloween movie because it's Halloween. My favorite movie that I like to watch every year Halloween is Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
That was good.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's just like I like to watch that movie.
Yeah, it was just nicely
Halloween time.
done. Like it had a good artistic kind of look to it. Very Tim Burton.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. I can watch it, at least once a year. I have like the the movie poster. I have everything from it. And I like little period pieces like that set in that time period.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do a good job.
It's got a bunch of good actors in it
Yeah.
too. Even Palpatine's in it.
Oh, Palpatine! I haven't watched it this year, so I need to watch it. Been sort of busy, but yeah, Sleepy Hollow. And then for my fifth one, I was going back and forth on this one, and I started to say, which I guess this would make it a alternate. I started to say The Shining
Mm-hmm.
because it's just an excellent horror movie, but then I'm like, when I pick movies, I try to pick movies that I've watched over and over again, like a bunch of times. And truthfully, I've seen The Shining maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
So it's not like when I
actually prefer the TV show better.
the
TV
mini series.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play that one on repeat at the Stanley Hotel when you go. There's a channel dedicated to that because it was filmed there. So yeah, I like the TV one too, I think. So I said no, not that one. I'm gonna pick a movie, even though, like Katrin said, it's not considered a Halloween movie. It's sort of pokes fun of some horror movies, and it's the way they do it. And I've watched it many times. It's on Netflix, so you can watch it whenever you want to. But it's just one of those fun, like if you want a House of a Thousand Corpse / Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you don't want those kind of movies.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So my fifth pick, and I'm sure everybody will say no and argue with me on this one. Not you guys, of course, but is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Love that movie because it pokes fun of the whole genre, and it's freaking hilarious, and it doesn't take itself too serious at all. And you have a guy flying into a wood chipper in the middle of it, which is it's funny. Have you seen this movie, Katrin?
I have not.
Oh, you need to watch it.
It's good. It's fun. It kind of takes the typical kind of horror movie out in the woods and kind of turns it on its head a bit.
Yeah, it's so funny. They're making a sequel, I think.
Oh, they are.
I think that's what I heard. But it's on Netflix, Katrin. You should check it out. You know, your son can't watch it. I don't know if your wife would want to watch it.
Probably not.
But it is so funny. And the two main actors, I forget the guy with the beard's name.
Oh yeah, I can't. He was on
the
show Reaper.
Tyler.
He's been on a bunch of
Tyler Labine, and then Alan Tudyk. Two scruffy pals. Backwoods vacation takes a bloody turn when ignorant college students mistake them for a pair of murderous hillbillies. That doesn't get you. I don't know what will.
Yeah.
But highly recommend that movie. So that's my top 5 with an extra thrown in, The Shining.
Sure.
Sure. You didn't like my picks? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was good picks.
Uh-huh.
I guess I can do mine now.
Well, yeah, because I don't see Tyler Dean or Hank Bagwell on here, so
so it'd be me. Maybe. Okay, well let's. So my first pick, which I'm actually surprised neither one of you picked this movie.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, not that. Hocus Pocus.
I knew that you were going to pick it, so.
Okay, because I have to watch that movie every year. It's just so good. I mean, it takes place on Halloween. It's got witches. Yeah. It's funny. It even like as a kid, it can be a little scary, or even as an adult, maybe scary a little bit. But it's like perfect casting. It's just I don't know. It's just a really funny movie.
So I just saw a video on this. There's a deleted scene that they didn't make that actually makes the movie make a lot more sense. And some people on YouTube made the scene. Like they got actors that did the makeup and they made the actual scene. And basically, in the movie, um, when all the kids like they start singing this song, and all the kids just sort of like go
Oh yeah.
after them, like follow them and stuff. Except for like the two main kids, it doesn't affect
Mhm.
them,
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why doesn't it affect these kids and it affects everybody else? Well, the thing is that the reason that the kids are following them with this song is because the witches, one of their things that they did for centuries or whatever it is, they made this special candy that hypnotizes the kids. So there's a scene that was cut where they go to the grocery store to buy all the supplies, and it's pretty funny because they don't understand like the modern day supermarket, and so it's funny. You have to find it on YouTube, but I'll see if I can send it to you. But it makes it make a lot more sense why those two, because the other two kids didn't eat the candy, but all the other kids did.
That's funny.
So that's why they weren't affected by the song, but everybody else was.
Okay, I never really even thought about that. Why they weren't affected.
Yeah, because they're like walking out of a house and they see all the kids walking and they're like, "What's going on?" And it's like, why aren't they affected by the song?
I guess I thought it was because like all the other kids were asleep,
Yeah,
so like made them sleepwalk. I don't know.
yeah. It was a cut. It was a cut scene. That's why.
It was a cutscene. That's why. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, yeah. So that's yeah. These are in no particular order.
Yeah.
But this one it's kind of half the movie is my Halloween pick. It's the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, the
Oh,
Disney movie.
I wonder which half.
The Sleepy Hollow. No, this is Mr. Toad. It's the Mr. Toad. Now, no, Sleepy Hollow. Disney's original Sleepy Hollow tale before they did Sleepy Hollow. But yeah, it's animated really well. Like the character of Ichabod just looks so just gangly and awesome. And just the visuals they did in that movie is creepy. I remember being scared of it as a kid, but still loving to watch it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, but and it's got a narrator kind of throughout it, which is fun. But yeah, I don't know. I like that one. It's good.
I like it too.
And the next one I have down would be Monster House. Which I know some people may have like, whatever. It's one of those movies that used motion capture, so like it can look a little weird, but just the story for me on that one is just really fun.
Isn't the house like eat the children or something?
Yeah, it's the story of like these kids realize that the house across the street is alive and tries to eat kids, and the man who owned the house, they think he dies at the beginning, and then they're stuck with this house that's going to eat kids on Halloween, so they're trying to stop it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a fun movie. Me and my wife love to watch it every year. We actually put it on the other day. And yeah, I don't know, it's got some good voice acting in it. It's just a fun little movie.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it once, so I'd have to watch it again.
And my next pick would be Paranorman. I picked some random movies for you.
You picked all these animated ones. I wouldn't expect anything less.
I tried to pick ones that you guys necessarily wouldn't have picked.
Oh,
so that's the one about
for you.
Yeah,
the ones that I like to watch every year. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones. Like I love to watch Scream. Scream's is a good Halloween movie. And then, like I said, mentioned earlier, Alien for some reason I like to watch around this time of year. The Halloween movies, Friday the 13th, I even like that. I like to watch that.
But you love Paranorman.
Paranorman is just it's fun. It's a stop motion animated movie by Leica. The same people that did like Coraline and
that movie's freaky.
Yeah, that one's good too. I like that one too. But between the two, Paranorman is more of a Halloween movie to me.
It's about two guys named Norman. There's a pair of them.
A pair of Normans.
No, that's not it. You don't get spelling. I don't think.
I've never seen the movie, so I don't even know what it's about.
So it's about like so this kid, well, basically this town long time ago, this town captured a witch and burned a witch and killed it.
She's a
And
witch.
but it's like a myth kind of history in the town at that point that they tell the kids, and they're even going to do a school play on it. But the kid Norman, his name's Norman, and he
Oh.
so instead of paranormal, it's paranormal.
Oh, I see what they
He
did there.
Yeah, there you go. He can actually see ghosts. Like he actually sees them. No one believes him,
like the kid
even
from
his family.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, like, but he's friends with all the ghosts. He's not scared of them because he's grown up with them. Like his dead grandmother like sits and talks with him all the time.
Hmm.
And his parents were like, "No, she's dead. Stop it." But then his uncle, his crazy uncle that they say to not talk to, he shows up. And he's like, "No, the witch tale is true, and like you're the only one who can save us because it's my time's about up. You have to go to this place and read this book to put the witch back to sleep because every Halloween she comes and tries and raises the dead to torment people and everything." And he tries to go do it, but he can't. And like all these zombies come up, which are the people that burned the witch, and start attacking the town. They have to figure out what's going on. It's a fun movie. It's animated really well. It's kind of creepy.
Hmm.
It's a good movie. I'd recommend it.
Maybe I'll watch it sometime.
There you go.
But yeah, those are 5. I mean, of course, Nightmare Before
Good
Christmas is great. But I knew you guys would be like, "Oh, he's gonna pick Nightmare Before Christmas." So I picked all these other ones.
It's a Christmas
Hey.
movie.
And from
It's both.
From
That's
Hell,
what-
Yeah,
that's
I
a great
know.
thing.
yeah, From Hell is another good one. too.
Well,
Watch your language. Son.
yeah.
Sorry, From Heck. Which is a Johnny
It's
Depp movie.
family friendly.
About Jack the Ripper, not a kids movie.
Okay.
Not like kids
Well, there we go. So do
So
we?
I had
Oh,
a
go ahead.
couple more
Oh,
that I was gonna mention.
okay.
Edward Scissorhands was on my list. I was like that. I kind of, but I don't love the movie.
That's an Easter movie.
It's an
No,
Easter.
I don't know.
And then I had
President's
E.T.
Day.
because they trick or treat.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's a Halloween
And
movie.
I was like, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And that was one of my favorite movies growing up. And then Army of Darkness, I thought of while we were talking. And
Yes,
Man, I should've
Evil
said
Dead
that.
movies. Yeah,
Yes.
the Evil
Yeah.
Dead ones are great too.
There's a ton of movies I
Yeah.
can pick from. But
So, anyways.
those are my 5, and everybody's 5.
There's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Should we mention some of the movies that some of the folks on Facebook said?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, we can. Hey, hold on.
And some of these I'm not
Oh,
sure if
there's
they're
more.
movies or TV shows, so y'all have to help.
Let me look at
Well,
the movies. I'll tell you what somebody said Monster Squad, so yay.
Yeah, that was Sean Klein. It's somebody I work with.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
shout out to Sean. Dave Adams said the Scream series, Halloween, and Hocus Pocus.
The Scream series, but only the first 2 seasons.
Right.
The
Seasons?
third, yeah, they're.
No, he's talking about the movies.
Oh, okay.
The Scream
there's a TV
movies.
There's a TV show, Scream. Watch the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Don't watch the third.
I haven't even watched the
Okay.
third one because I saw it on Netflix and I looked at it and I'm like, no, because it's a whole new cast and everything, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't even feel like a Scream.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat. That's another
Yeah,
one
that's a good
that
one.
that Aaron Garcia said. That's a good one. Surprised that didn't make anybody's list. I haven't watched it in a long time though. I have to watch it again.
Mhm.
And he said Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
No clue.
I don't know that one. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of Cater's favorites.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say.
The Halloween Tree.
I'm trying to remember what that was. It sounds familiar, but I can't remember the.
Yeah. Our favorite relative, Sammy, said the Halloween Tree,
Oh.
which I need to go back and watch again. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
It sounds familiar. Like I don't know if I'm thinking of the Giving Tree.
I was thinking of the Giving Tree.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
But yeah,
And then Kerry Gordon, our pal Kerry Gordon, which we're gonna have on the show at some point. He's from Comic Palooza. He wants to come on the show. I was on his show, Metal Geeks. We're gonna have him on the show. It's been so crazy lately. He said Gremlins, which Kerry, that's a Christmas movie.
yeah. I'm sorry. That's like Die
it
Hard.
can work.
No, it works.
It works.
I guess. I mean, if you can include Nightmare Before Christmas, you can include
Yeah, it can almost work as both because you've got the monster aspect of it, but it's based around Christmas.
because there's also Krampus.
Oh,
I love Krampus.
Krampus is great.
Oh my goodness, it's such a fun movie.
It's a Halloween movie. I mean, it's a Christmas movie, but it's kind of. I mean, it's a horror movie, so you can watch it on Halloween.
It's like a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation horror movie.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I'm looking at the Christmas tree. I don't.
Halloween tree.
I mean the Halloween tree. There's a
Well,
bunch.
early for
There's
that.
a bunch of different ones. Okay, so I guess the original was Ray Bradbury.
Huh.
Now
Yeah.
I wanna watch this. And then the Cartoon Network did a version of it. Hanna-Barbera did a version of it.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, Sammy, I'm gonna check this out.
Better not be wrong.
And then the other ones that people put were TV shows, so we'll get back to those.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get back.
All right. This is the moment everybody's been waiting for.
Yes. Yes.
Our top 5 television episodes that deal with Halloween. Basically, it's every, or not every, but a bunch of TV shows over the years have had Halloween episodes. So not necessarily the show itself is not necessarily about Halloween, but they've had an episode or multiple episodes over the course of their seasons that deal with Halloween. So this is something new. Now, some of these you might not be able to still watch. Some of them will be on Netflix. Some of them you may be able to find Amazon, or some
YouTube,
places,
or maybe on YouTube.
Yeah, but so since you went last, Chris, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
I can do that. First thing that popped in my head, thinking about TV like shows and TV specials. This would be a TV special. Would be Garfield's Halloween Adventure.
Somebody actually said that on Facebook.
I saw that and I was like, oh, he picked mine.
Was it Dave Campbell said that?
Yeah, I think Dave Adams.
No, David Campbell.
David Campbell did. Yeah, I love that cartoon. It's so funny because it's Garfield and Odie going trick or treating, and there's an island out in this lake, and for some reason they're like, oh, I bet there's some good candy out there, and so they row out there.
Pretty good Garfield.
And I know. There's like an old man living there, tells them a haunted story of these like ghost pirates that come to the island to get their gold that they hid under the house. And
That's
so
right. Yeah.
And I always remember it because whenever anybody says the word candy, like in the in the cartoon, Garfield all the time goes candy, 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 candy. Oh, candy, 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 candy. It's got Binky the Clown in it. It's a fun. You can still find that on YouTube. I watch that on YouTube pretty much every year.
I remember that
Fun.
as a kid.
And then, and I had to put Simpsons Halloween.
Which one though? Which one?
So that's
because I put one of them too, but I'm gonna see if I put the same one as you did.
okay. So let me. So I put 3 of them as my favorites.
You can only pick one.
Oh, I can only pick one.
No, I mean that's 3 of your picks right there. So that only leaves me as
Okay,
one.
well, I'll pick.
No,
I'll pick
I'm just
one.
kidding. You can say
I'll pick one.
No, you can say all 3.
Well, probably my favorite would be the Halloween, the Treehouse of Horrors 2, which has Lisa's Nightmare, which is based off the Monkey's Paw. Bart's Nightmare, It's a Good Life, based off of It's a Good Life, and then my favorite of the 3 is Homer's Nightmare, which is Frankenstein, where Mr. Burns and Smithers are trying to build like a perfect employee or whatever, and they go to the graveyard to get a body, and Homer's been working as a graveyard like attendant, and
Yeah.
he was digging a grave, he fell asleep, and so like, oh, here's one that's already open, let's take this one. He's like, sir, I think he's still alive. Ah, it's fine. So they take them and they make into a Frankenstein's monster. And my favorite line is that towards the end where like they try to fix Homer and put him back to normal,
Yeah.
and Mr. Burns didn't think it would work, and he starts to wake up, and he goes, "Oh, it worked. I owe you a Coke." I don't know why, but that just makes me laugh so
Oh, you're a
much.
cook.
But that, I mean, the other, I like 1 and 2 as well. It's like the first season they did it, the second season and the third season were my favorite ones. But yeah, if I had to pick from the 3, it'd probably be that one because of
Well, I've got a
Frankenstein.
different one, so that's good.
Okay.
Yay. Like a different episode. But yeah.
Besides 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Oh, well then I'll mention the Raven too. That's in the first. That's in the first season one, because the reading of the Raven is really good in that one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. All right. What else? Is that it?
Okay.
No?
No.
Oh, there's more. There's more.
That was only 2.
Oh,
Only 2.
wow. Seems like it took so long.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it though?
Just kidding. Just being silly.
I was gonna mention this one. I forgot about this, and I looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, I loved watching this, because I was kind of thinking back, like in the past as a kid watching Halloween TV shows. This was another special they did, which was Gary Larson's Tales from the Far Side.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That they did 2 of those that come out around Halloween, and we always loved to like watch them when they came on TV. And it's just like the comic strip come to life, and they're always fun. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if you can really find them anywhere now. You might be able to find like clips or something on YouTube,
Yeah.
but they're just really fun.
Isn't the Far
And
Side coming back?
yeah, there's something. It's coming back. His web page got updated, so it's possibly coming back in some form,
That's cool.
which is awesome. And this show isn't on anymore. I'm going all cartoons, I think, tonight.
No, really?
Yeah. It's called The Regular Show. And it was on Cartoon Network for a few years. And Cartoon Network is great because like every show of theirs always has like Halloween episodes
Uh-huh.
every year. And The Regular Show was great because it was basically like a Simpsons Halloween thing where they would sit around every year and tell ghost stories. And it was almost like a Twilight Zone where like the story's twisted in some way, and then at the end of the episode, like it twisted and probably they all ended up dying. But they're just fun episodes. You can find them on Cartoon Network. And the Regular Show is great because they never really say it, but you're pretty sure it takes place in the 80s because like there's so much 80s reference in all of those shows that they're just really funny.
Cool.
And then I'll say because I wrote a bunch down. I was like, oh, these are all good. So I'll just name a few of them off the list. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
It's like
Isn't
the
that whole series is a Halloween episode.
Yeah, the whole series is basically like a Halloween episode. Yeah. It's just so funny. Every episode is just to play off of some like creepy thing or whatever. And one of my favorite ones is has to deal with a creepy barber. And it's read like a poem almost, the whole thing. The creepy barber's name's Fred. And it's just the way it's read, the voice is really creepy, and he wants to give Courage a shave, and he keeps trying to get, and they get locked in a bathroom for most of the episode, and he keeps getting closer to Courage to shave him, and the police show up, and he's like, "There better not be someone getting a shave in there."
What? I'm gonna do that the next time that I go to the bathroom. My wife's in there. I'll be like, "There better not be someone getting a shave in there." And she's gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, you obviously don't listen to I Am Geek.
Creepy. But yeah, it's told in a voice like that where it's so low and kind of creepy. Like the whole thing. It's fun. I like that one. And there's some other ones, but I mean we can move on. Those are one of mine.
I like them. Good picks.
I like it.
All right, who's next?
Well, if we're going reverse order, that would be you.
You be you.
Oh, me again.
You be you.
I feel like I just went. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the Simpsons episode that I picked, the Treehouse of Horrors 5, which has the Shinnin.
Oh yeah. Good one.
He's got the Shinnin. That episode also had Homer gets a hold of a time traveling toaster.
Yeah, that was good.
It goes through time, and then the cafeteria at school figures out a way to basically get free food by taking the kids from detention.
Ooter.
So
what happened to Ooter? We're having schnitzel today. What?
So I like 5.
That was good. And you have the Homer line, no beer and no TV, make Homer go something.
Yeah.
Go crazy? Don't mind if I do.
Oh, that I love that episode because it's got all those one-liners. It's just like hilarious. So that was my pick. But the ones you chose, I mean, they're all fairly good.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
They FX does it every year, but now that Disney owns Simpsons, I don't know if they'll be doing it anymore. I don't know. Every year they do a marathon of the Simpsons Halloween episodes. They show them all, like one right after another. And you just marathon them, and I've done that.
Yeah. They're still making new ones though, right?
Yeah, every year they do a new one.
Yeah, I haven't seen
the new one hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new ones. So yeah, so that's my Simpsons one. You got to throw a Simpsons one in there. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm boring myself. No. So the rest of them are sort of random picks. I didn't go for the Roseanne. I didn't go for those because I figured you guys would do it. So
I wrote down Home Improvement, but I couldn't think of just like a specific episode of those. But I always liked watching the Home Improvement ones.
All right, so here's the rest of mine, in no particular order, but I'll probably save my favorite for last. Community, season 2, episode 6. I'm going to probably mispronounce this. Epidemiology. Yeah. It's where they have a zombie outbreak at their Halloween party because the dean buys some cheap expired rations from the army surplus store, and it turns everybody into these like zombie-like creatures, and so it's basically a zombie movie, and they're all in their costumes, and I just forgot their names. What's the two guys?
Oh, in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't think of them.
Oh wow! How did I just forget their names?
Go on offline. I'll look them up.
But one of them is dressed up. Well, okay. One of them wants them to be the alien creature and Ripley, and Ripley's going to be in the big robot suit thing.
Troy and Abed.
So Abed wants Troy to be Ripley, basically, and he's going to be the alien. And Troy's like, no, I'm not going to be Ripley. I'm going to be Sexy Dracula. And he's basically just shirtless with a... Sorry. I'm making myself laugh. With a toilet seat cover around his neck that says Dracula and toilet paper around his wrist. He goes, I'm Sexy Dracula. They're like, what? So, and then like the Dr. Ken, which I don't forget his name on the show, he dresses up as a female figure skater, and people keep calling him, Jane. They keep calling him one of the Christy Yamaguchi or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not Christy Yamaguchi, and he says this other one. He goes, "You're just racist." So it's just, he's hilarious on the show. And then the dean is dressed up like Lady Gaga, and the way that it Troy basically is one of the last survivors. What they figure out they have to do is they have to turn the air condition down to the coldest it will go, and it will kill the virus that these people have all contracted. But it's freaking hilarious. It's like way better than watching an episode of The Walking Dead as far as zombie, because this is so funny. I'm sure you can find it out there somewhere. But yeah, so that one I recommend. Superstore, I don't know what season it's from. They have one called, if you haven't seen Superstore, it's basically The Office taking place in like a Walmart, pretty much. They have one called Sal's Dead, and they are doing some construction on the building, and they breaking up this wall, and they find a dead body inside the wall, and it's one of their employees that just went missing a while back, and they thought that he just sort of left because he was weird, and he died inside the wall. And so they call the police, and the police are like, we're really backed up. Don't touch the body, or don't move the body. And he ends up getting moved around the store, and he becomes part of the Halloween decorations by the end of the show. And people are like taking pictures with him and stuff. It's hilarious. I know that sounds like morbid and stuff, but it's funny. That show's funny anyways. And then I'm going to throw in a non-funny one. Ooh, this is not a funny one. From one of my favorite TV shows, Supernatural. Which the whole thing's a Halloween show, if you want to call it that. Yep. But they have one that's called "It's the Great Pumpkin," Sam Winchester, and it happens on Halloween. The spirit of Halloween is brought back, Samhain, and they have to defeat him, and all the typical stories you hear of Halloween play out, like the razor blades and the candy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember that? So all this stuff plays out. Yeah. So that's my non-funny one.
Oh no, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh,
razor blades in the end.
Yeah. So, and then my favorite Halloween episode of all time, because it's from my favorite sitcom of all time.
Oh.
Can you guess? Anyone? 5, 4,
Sweet Life with
3. No.
Alf.
Doogie Howser.
No, that's not a sitcom. Doogie Howser's not a sitcom.
Situational comedy.
Yeah. The kid is a doctor. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Anyways, from Parks and Recreation, Season 2, Episode 7, Greg Bacaitis is the name of the episode. And basically, this is the typical teenager that likes to vandalize on Halloween. And they're trying to catch him in the act, basically, because he vandalizes the Parks and Rec department every year. And if you know anything about the show, hilarity ensues, and it's so funny. So yeah, so check that out. That is definitely on Netflix. You can watch Parks and Rec, the whole series, which I've watched many, many times. I like it better than The Office. There, I said it. But it's Season 2, Episode 7, Greg Bacaitis. It's a Halloween episode. Check it out. It's funny. So there we go. See, I picked all weird ones, huh?
Great.
Well, so did I. So
yeah,
it's up to Katrin to
normalize this out. Oh, well, yeah, it all normalizes. All right. All right. So the first one I have on my list is Ghost Hunters. Not just in general, but there was an episode
Yes.
where they did a Halloween. They did this a couple
Ooh.
times where it was like
Yeah.
a 24 hour, or was it 24 hours? House or
No, it's
something?
like overnight.
Just
like,
overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
overnight.
live basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
They did it
alive,
live.
and that
Yeah.
was we used to love that show. You know, when it first came
Well,
out, it was the thing to watch, right?
it's back. Have you
It
seen
is
that?
back. Yeah.
Well, there's actually two of them.
Yeah.
So Grant Wilson
Yeah.
has the show Ghost Hunters, which is on like Discovery, I think, one of those.
Yeah.
And then I think it's on the Travel Channel is Ghost Nation, which is Jason Hawes.
Oh, so
But
they
yeah,
split up.
yeah, they kind of like Grant left the show like before it ended and went on and did his own things, and I think one of the networks wanted to bring it back, but they approached Jason first apparently and told him like we want to do the show with you again, but we want all new people with you. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it unless I can pick my own people. And so he went over and did Ghost Nation, and then they went to Grant, and he was like, yeah, I want to do this again, so yeah, I'll do it. And they're both good. We watched them both. They're both still good.
Are they still like, oh, look at that thing on the audio
Commercial.
Yeah, commercial. And then by the end of the episode, they're like, let's look at the stuff we found. Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
We didn't find
Or-
anything.
Kind of like Destination Truth, right?
Yeah.
Like, build up,
Yeah.
build up, build up. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, basically, none of those shows ever find anything, but they're still fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the best though. Watching that one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember sitting
Yeah.
and
Oh
watching
yeah,
with friends and
Very good.
it's on Wednesdays. We get pizza and we watch that show.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Ghost Hunters.
yeah.
Why is all the is it just because of the eerie mood? But why does all the investigation take place at night? Like, why is there only ghosts at nighttime? Why can't there be ghosts during the daytime?
They do some
That's
stuff
when
during
they
the
come out.
day.
Freaks
Yeah.
come out at night, right?
I think they said I think they mentioned at one point they typically do stuff at night is because that's when they can get the places emptied out and they don't have
maybe
anyone around to make noises or anything.
it's for effect.
But yeah, I mean it's a fact too.
But
I can
typically,
see that.
when you think of ghost hunting, it always happens at night, whether it's on TV or not. Why? What makes the night different?
It's more spooky because the lights are off. I mean, that's all it is. Don't ruin it, Ryan.
Because the allergies in the air.
You ruin everything, Ryan.
I've told my opinion about ghosts on here before. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's all
It's just an enjoyable show to watch.
like
That's
a
all.
picture. It's like a picture taken in time.
Yeah.
That's all it is. No real ghosts. Sorry, burst your bubble. But I love Ghost
Sorry.
Hunters. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that
All right.
ball. The ball rolls across the ground. They're like, how'd that ball roll across the ground?
Somebody.
Dude, run!
How'd our flashlight come on? Well, it's pretty easy. I could do it right now.
That's because you're haunted.
That's true. I'm haunted by the pizza I had last night. Anyways, sorry. I derailed this. Ghost
right.
Hunters. I agree. That's a good
One.
episode. Yes.
Yeah. So the next one is an episode of Dawson's Creek. No, I'm just kidding. I was looking at a list of shows just to try to jog my memory. And
That would
I
have
saw one.
that would
I
have
was
been
like, I
your
gotta say
51st dates.
Right.
Shout out, Tyler.
Dawson's Creek.
No. The next
Which
one I have.
make a joke, but I can't remember. I don't know any of the names on that show. So
So there's Dawson.
I don't want to wait. That's all I know is the song.
Is there somebody named Dawson? That's his creek?
No.
I thought it was an actual creek. I don't know.
think
I
it's
don't
Creek.
know.
It's a crick.
Okay. Next, I have on my list Mickey Mouse Haunted House. It's an episode, an old black and white episode.
Oh
where
yeah.
He goes into the house, and it's like the house is alive in some ways, right? The door locks itself, and it moves, and there's all this wind, and then that's when the skeletons come out and do their little dance, and they're playing like the xylophone on
Yep.
the bones and doing all these.
Yeah.
And man, it's so good. It's super short compared to everything else we've mentioned, but it's really good.
That's fun.
I agree.
All right. The next one is more generic, and because I don't have a specific one in mind, but Home Improvement. We mentioned it earlier, but the only one I could think of really though is like that was super memorable is like when they had a haunted house in their
Yes.
In the basement.
basement,
Yeah.
whatever. And um, yeah, is that the
I think that was the first one.
yeah? I think so. And doesn't somebody get hurt in the process or something? I don't. Of
Well,
trying to,
they play pranks on each other, like
yeah.
the family does, and yeah, there may have been something involved where they pranked where they thought someone was hurt. That's why I couldn't remember like details about
I couldn't
those.
either, but that always sticks out when I think of TV shows, I guess.
Was
I do have. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, was there one Halloween episode where Wilson dresses up as Wilson? Like he has a little fence in front of his face?
I think so, possibly.
I don't know if you
Or
may
maybe it
be
was on something else.
thinking of like the end of the show. He
Oh,
came out, or when one of like when they all came out to do their bow to the audience, he came
okay.
out with like a little fence in front of his face.
Huh.
Okay.
I
Well,
think,
oh well.
Yeah.
but he always had a costume that hit his face though.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was some. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The next one I have on my list is The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, well, that's a classic.
There you
It's a
go.
classic. It's
Yeah.
something we usually watch. We try to watch it. I remember watching in school all the time, all the Charlie Brown movies, which you probably can't do that anymore, I'm sure. But, okay. I originally wrote Scooby Doo down here because I was like, just any episode of Scooby Doo makes you think of Halloween because it's monsters and especially the intro, right? You think of a haunted house or whatever.
Right.
But I decided to not do that because I'd already did one generic one. But I found one that I do remember is Ren and Stimpy Haunted House. Did y'all watch Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I had to rewatch it just to remember some parts. But they come up to this house and there's a ghost in there and he wants to try to scare them away because they're just trying to find somewhere for the night, And so he does all these things to try to scare them off. And there's one part, and the show it's just gross for the most part, right? All these different things they do, and they make this sandwich. I think it's like peanut butter, but it's the bread is made out of the ghost, and they put this peanut butter on there, and then they take this fish and they squeeze fish eggs out of out of like this hole in the fish, and it just onto the sandwich, and then they're about to eat it. They're about to eat it, and this yak comes in, and they give it to the yak, and he puts it on the refrigerator and just starts beating the crap out of it for whatever reason. it's it's yeah, it's one of the weirdest shows ever, I guess, but influenced many other things like the new Mickey Mouse cartoons that they have now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like the same show, but and eventually they talk to the ghost, and he's like, I'm trying to scare you away, and he tries to kill himself by taking a nail and trying to hammer it into his head, and they stop him, but then he drinks poison and he dies. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
But instead of like, I don't know what would happen if a ghost tried to kill itself, but he turns back into his human self, I guess, is what it's supposed to be, this large man. And he's got a harp, and it looks like he's going to go up to heaven, but instead he doesn't go up in the air, and he walks out, and he's like, well, I guess go be human again. But it's the most random thing. But that was one of my favorite shows growing up was Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead, and the pre South Park, which makes those kind of look tame, I guess. But,
Yeah.
so, yeah, those were my 5.
Very good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh, so our listeners had some.
Yes.
Somebody had Treehouse of Horrors.
Yeah, somebody also had a Mickey Mouse one.
Yeah.
I think it's different, but it may be the same thing.
It was like a special that just had a bunch of different.
Yeah. Halloween.
Halloween type shows.
It's called A Disney Halloween. I watched some of it because he had a link, and I think
Yeah.
it was a lot of different clips from different Disney cartoons, sort of put together to make a Halloween episode.
There was a haunted house one, a more recent one, I guess, a color one, where what was it? Something ghost. They were like Ghostbusters, right? And they they went to this house and tried to get rid of the ghost, and
Yeah.
all the
there was
that's
like
really good one,
older.
too.
There's an older one that
Yeah.
too.
There's a House of Mouse. I don't know if you remember that show.
Oh yeah,
They had a Halloween House of Villains or something like that.
Mm.
And if you like superheroes, I'd say check out Teen Titans Go. It's a comedy version of Teen Titans, and they do holiday episodes like for every holiday, and they do some good Halloween ones. Their one this year they did. They throw a Halloween party, invite the Justice League, and Robin makes a drink cocktail he calls the Witch's Brew, which is just grape juice and like sparkling water and a bit of lime. But for some reason, that's the actual Witch's Brew that he found online, and it turns the Justice League into witches, and they have to go hunt them down. And I don't know, it's funny. They keep Raven is a character that's kind of a dark character who should know more about like magic and witches than any of them do, but like they keep saying you don't know anything about witches, because she's like they're evil. Like no, they're not evil. They're just sad because like they're ugly and have warts, and society is like treating them terribly. It's society that's evil. You know nothing about witches. I don't know. It's just a funny off the wall show. It's kind of like a Ren and Stimpy type thing.
Yeah.
But like their Christmas episodes, Santa is evil usually, and he's trying to take over all the other holidays, so he can be the only holiday. But it's a fun little cartoon for kids.
Yeah. Well.
And me too.
Yeah,
I mean, it has
not little kids.
I wouldn't say little kids.
No.
I mean, it has
teenagers.
It has some a little bit younger teenagers, I think. I mean, we watched Ren and Stimpy when we were pretty young.
Well, yeah, we shouldn't have though.
Right.
It's fine. We turned out okay.
No, because I was gonna watch the Teen Titans Go movie with my son, and then I watched it beforehand, and I was like, nope. He'll say butts for the next week. He'll talk about that person's butt for the next week. Because they do a whole big butt thing.
Yeah.
In the movie.
I sent you guys an episode that you need to watch. Called Booty Scooty. And it's basically like a Goonies episode.
That was my nickname in high school.
Booty Scooty.
Yikes. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. It was Scooty Booty.
Okay.
Oh, so we're gonna wrap it up here a bit, but okay, so there's this cartoon. It's like this little short that they put on Disney Junior. It's called Bluey, and it's about this family. It's these dogs. I don't know if they're Australian or I think it came on the BBC originally, but I forget what kind of dogs they are. It's like some kind of Australian dog. I don't know. Anyways, it's dad and mom, and Bluey's the oldest kid, and Bingo's the youngest kid. Anyways, so Bluey loses a tooth, and trust me, it's gonna be funny. And Bluey gets $5 to spend, and the first funny thing is the dad like spits out his coffee because he's like $5 for a tooth. And the mom's like, that's what all his friends get. Anyway, so they go to the market so Bluey can spend the $5, and Bluey meets one of her friends. And they go, and there's these pony rides, and there's these two ponies, and one of them has like a fake unicorn on, and they're like, which one do you want to ride? And they go, oh, Buttermilk, let's ride Buttermilk. It's the one with the unicorn horn. So they go over and Bluey hands the $5 because everything at this market costs $5 for some reason because it's a kid show. Hands the $5 to the person with the horses. She gets on and she's like, "You get on with me," and they're like, "Oh, you don't have enough money," so she gets back off because she doesn't want to ride without her friend, and they walk over to Buttermilk. And they go, "Buttermilk, you're so beautiful." And right when they say beautiful, the horse goes, and this pile of shiny poo just comes pouring out the back of it. And my son and my daughter, who are 4 and 2, lost it. Like they were cracking up. And I was cracking up. I'm like, I shouldn't laugh at this because, they shouldn't really be laughing at this. But it was hilarious because they're like, Buttermilk, you're so beautiful. And they're like, just let the load drop. I mean, it was like coming out like sausages, just pouring out the back of, looked like sausages coming out the horse's butt. And so we're cracking up. And then he tells my wife, his mom, about it. Says, "We saw this cartoon and this Buttermilk poops." And my wife is like, "What are you talking about?" So I'm like, We'll show you. So I put it on. It gets to that part, and my son and me were both going, "Get ready for it." And they go, "Buttermilk, you're so beautiful." And it just cuts to the next scene. And the horse's tail started wiggling, and then it just cut to the next scene.
What?
And we're
They
like,
trimmed it.
We're like, what happened? Like, we watched it earlier that day.
That's weird.
And my wife is like, "You guys made that up. There's no way that." And she didn't believe it. She's like, "No, that wasn't on there. You made it up." I'm like, "I promise." She goes, "Well, let's watch it again." So I started over because it's like on demand or whatever. And there was different ones, but it was just like HD version, standard version. So I picked one of the other versions, and it was there that time. So one of the episodes on demand had it clipped out, and one didn't. And then she started laughing, and we watched that scene like 5 times in a row.
That's a new Frozen.
It was so funny. Like, it's this little Disney Junior cartoon, and they have this like sparkly pink unicorn horse that poops like poop sausages out of its butt all of a sudden. It was
Great.
That's the name of this episode, Poop Sausage.
Poop sausage.
But I was like dying laughing. I was rolling. But then it was like disappeared. We're just like, okay, what is going on? Like, how did they trim that so fast? Like, we just watched it earlier that day. So I guess somebody complained, so they had a trimmed version with no poop sausages in it. That's what I'm streaming.
Poop sausages?
Buttermilk poo.
Buttermilk poop sausages.
Just like Mom used to make.
Well,
How do you?
yeah. Well, that's been this episode of Hello W Geek. Hello Geek. I had fun. Did you guys have fun?
Of course.
I did up until that last sentence.
Sorry. I'll cut that out.
No, it's fine.
Let it go.
Let it go.
No, not again. So Frozen 2 is coming out, and the newest theory is that Anna has, and then we'll end. Anna has fall powers.
What?
Oh,
She has
of course.
Power of autumn.
She slowly turns leaves a different color.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
I guess she makes like a little buddy, like Olaf, but he's a pumpkin.
yeah, what kind of pie does he want to be?
We talked about this earlier. It was funny. An apple pie.
We were talking about it earlier, and Chris just kept saying apple pie, and Kate and I are sitting here looking like, I think he means pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin
I
pie.
don't know if we
'Cause
should say anything.
I
Let
thought
it
it'd be
go.
funny because Olaf wants to visit Summer. I just thought it'd be funny that if the pumpkin guy wanted to eat pumpkin pie,
Yeah.
because he'd be eating himself.
Do
But I kept saying apple pie.
you want to carve a pumpkin?
Do you want to scoop out his guts? Anyway, so they're saying that she has fall powers because there's some symbol on her clothing that matches the symbol on Elsa's clothing, but it's fall colors.
I really hope it's not that.
She has the power of making wind. She has the power of breaking wind.
Yeah. Nice.
I always just thought you had bad gas on it, but it turns out you have fall powers.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
She brings allergies.
She decomposed the whole land. Arendelles in deep, deep, deep
Leaves.
leaves.
Well, this says Google says fire powers,
Oh.
and then it says fall powers.
Same thing. You got to have the fire powers to light Jack the jack-o'-lantern on fire.
She makes everything slightly chilly. Have to put on a cardigan.
She's got the power of pumpkin spice. Anyways, this has been a good episode. A little longer episode.
Mhm.
Good.
We say that every week, don't we?
Yeah.
It's probably just a normal episode.
One day it's going to be like just 5 hours. It's going to be like we're going to look down. And go, we've been talking for
Marathon it.
5 hours.
Do we have to raise money if if we call it a marathon episode?
Hey, I'm all about that.
We could have one, yeah. We
Yeah.
should have.
Raise money for trip to Batu.
That's not a good cause.
Oh, it's not a good call.
Look at this poor man.
He needs to go to Batu.
Poor- This poor bald man.
We need to get you to Batu, Chris.
Yeah.
Because Katrin's going
Eventually.
next year.
Yeah.
In October. Next October.
A year from now, we're just under 365 days now. So
Which I hope
I need
the crowds aren't like they are right now next year.
it's gonna be crazy because there's so many new rides by that time.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
just
when
the-
we went in September there
Yeah.
were hardly any crowds. But now crowds are like ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's fall break right now.
Yeah.
For everybody. And that's when we're going. So yay.
Yay. Get yourself to
Sometimes.
Batu.
Oh, kids getting out of school.
I know.
Should be illegal.
Kids should be illegal.
Anyways, happy
In some
Halloween,
countries they
everybody.
are.
Yeah. Next week on the show, we will be having a special guest. Yay.
Oh.
Tommy Campbell will be on next week.
I'm a Tommy.
He is a star of Stranger Things 3.
It's wow.
Is he a pinball wizard?
No. He's not deaf
No?
or dumb. And I don't know if he can play a mean pinball.
Oh, okay. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah. Anyways, he will be on the show. He's a background actor, does all kinds of crazy stuff. He was in Stranger Things 3 in the background. You look real close, you can see him. But he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's in some new stuff too. Some shows, TV shows, I think. So we're going to talk all about acting with Tommy Campbell.
Acting?
Acting?
I was
Anyways. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our picks for Halloween movies and TV shows. If you didn't, tell us your picks. Let us know what you pick, what you like to watch. You can find us on Twitter at I Am Geek Show, on Instagram at I Am Geek Show, on Facebook. You can join our I Am group, and all that jazz. We're not on Snapchat.
Or email us
Or email us.
at imgeekshow@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or go buy a t-shirt, because I hear there's going to be some Hello Geek ones out.
If it's on a shirt, that means it's true.
That's at shop.spreadshirt.com/ anyways, I'm going to Fandemic Tour this Friday, so we'll have that to talk about too.
Cool.
Nice.
Then it's another comic convention here in Houston.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So if you're there, you see Ryan,
Yeah.
give him a hug.
Hey, I may be dressed up
Oh.
in a costume.
So just hug everyone in a costume.
Do it.
Eventually, you'll get to Ryan.
And remember, if you want to experience Galaxy's Edge with me, Ryan, join us January 7th through 9th at Galaxy's Edge at Disney World. I'll be
Be
there.
there all the time.
I'll be there. I may have somebody coming with me too. Friend of the show. Anyways. All right. Until next time, this has been I Am Geek, episode 122.
Goodbye, Buttermilk. You're so beautiful.